Yeah, we back. Now, today's going to be a quick video. We're going to be talking about Oshay Duke Jackson. Another shameless grifter on his YouTube streets. Not wasting no time. Let's get into it. So Oshay the other day decided to put out a video, something about, I think the title was, oh, she went to an African braid shop and then this happened. And then essentially it was an argument between two aunties in a braid shop. And Oshay took an argument between two aunties in a braid shop and then tried to insert a geopolitical analysis, right? A geopolitical analysis, an ethnic analysis onto an argument that happens every single day in braid shops, hair salons, and nail salons across the world. But like I said, when you're grifting for a living, listen, you got to latch on to whatever you can latch on to. So not wasting no time, I'm going to jump straight into the clip and I'm going to come back with my commentary. Let's go.
This particular sister, from what I can tell, is asking for a discount, all right, for whatever reason. And there's an African manager that is very upset about the whole ordeal, but we don't really understand the context. We just hear her trying to calm the lady down and saying, hey, listen, can we go in the back and talk about this? And the mentality that some of these businesses have when they come to America is to treat, Black Americans or anybody they deal with, other Africans, in the same way. And this is what causes a divide. Now,
like I said, Oshay is taking an argument, a dispute between two aunties in a braid shop and trying to insert a geopolitical and ethnic analysis. Now, as somebody whose mother used to drag me to the nail salon, the hair salon, all that nonsense, right? I'm very accustomed to that environment, right? So these little arguments, debates, gossip, all this nonsense that happens in the hair shop, I witnessed it many times as a child, right? But when it comes to men, we don't get involved in that nonsense. We don't get involved in the gossip that happened at the hair salon. We don't get involved in the dispute that happened between the women at the nail salon. That's not a man's place, right? When it comes to men, we talk about politics. We talk about, oh man, the Knicks lost last night. That's what men talk about. Unfortunately, we know your background, Oshay. We know your father wasn't there to give you the masculine teachings as a man. He was out running the streets, right? Now, it's funny to me, right? Like I said, he's taking an argument between two aunties in the hair salon, and he went on this whole tangent about, oh, this why African business is that, and African business is this, and African this and that, right? Like I said, an anecdotal story between two aunties in the hair salon. I could do the same exact thing and show you another story of a lady who owns a hair salon and gave free lessons to the young girls in the community, the young teenage girls, teaching them how to do different types of styles and braids for free, right? Take a look up on the screen.
My name is Lillian, or the Goat, and I'm 13.
My name is Naya, and did I mess up?
I'm Natalie. I'm Nicole, and we're 13.
I'm 15 years old, and I'm here at Nadine's Hair Braiding for the summer program.
My name is Juliet, and I am 14.
My name is Haraya. I'm 17 years old. My name is Michaela, and I'm 16.
My name is Jalasia. I'm 13 years old.
My name is Imani. I'm 15 years old, and at Nadine Hair Braiding, it's been a wonderful experience.
At Boho, I learned how to wash hair much better.
I have gotten better with my cornrows.
I've learned so much stuff here, to be honest with you. I've learned how to add hair and knotless braids.
Braid faster. I've learned how to cornrow. I've learned how to dip ends.
I learned how to braid faster, braid neater, how to underbraid, and how to add hair, and how to be more consistent and neat.
I have done a student's hair before from start to finish.
I learned how to take my time with parting and have the patience and really master a lot of different skills that I wouldn't have learned if I didn't come here.
I kind of learned how to do twists.
I think I want to do hair on a side from school.
And got to know the Cameroonian culture. Am I saying that right? Cameroonian culture more.
So I want to ask Oshay, why did you choose to make a video about the argument between the two aunties in the braid shop and you to make a video about the woman that gave the free summer program to the young girls in the neighborhood to teach them how to braid and do twists and different, type of styles for free, right? How come you instead decided to show the argument between the two aunties in a braid shop? And like I mentioned before many times on my channel, I work in the family business. We have a physical location. And one thing that we deal with, from time to time is shoplifting, right? You don't ever see me go on my YouTube channel, right? And then I go on a rant about shoplifters and, oh man, this is why we can't work with these people. Look at them coming to steal the Tylenol and the Mucinex off the shelf and the baby powder. How come they don't got $5 to buy the merchandise? How come they coming and stealing, right? You don't never see me go on my damn channel generalizing an entire group of people because of a couple shoplifters. And that that should be hurting my heart, because I'm the type, I would work with you, right? If you want to come back and pay tomorrow, sometimes we do that, right? So we're very, we accommodate our customers, but still we deal with shoplifters all the time, and it's always black folks. It's never nobody else. It's never nobody else stealing from us. It's always some black folks, right? But you don't ever see me go on my channel generalizing an entire group of people and saying, look at these shoplifting ass people. Look at these stealing ass people stealing from their fellow black folks. I could easily go on an anecdotal rant and be like, look at these people stealing the vitamin B off the shelf. But because I'm a true Pan-Africanist and I can see the bigger picture, I don't ever take anecdotal situations, one-on-one individual situations, and then extend that to an entire group of people or try to make a geopolitical analysis over an individual interaction, right? Because number one, I'm a man and I was raised by men and I'm able to analyze the world like a man, right? You analyze the world like a bitch. Oh, look at the aunties in a braid shop. This is why African this and African that. You're a hoe. You have the same exact spirit as those aunties in a braid shop. You gossip like a little girl in the cafeteria. But since you want to go and give anecdotal scenarios and give an analysis based on that, I can also do the same exact thing, right? For example, there's an artist out here in New York. I believe he's from the Bronx. His name is A Boogie.
On standby, see the pain in my damn eyes. I got out of jail and my man's died. I never sleep, I'm a vampire. I'm not a regular person. I can't be giving out verses.
And he signed to a label, Highbridge the label, independent label. And the CEOs of that label, right, the brothers who invested in him are two brothers. I believe one of those brothers is named QP, and the other brother name is Bubba. And one of them is from Ghana, one of them is from the Gambia, right? But you wouldn't know that because that doesn't matter, right? But those brothers came up together, invested their money in A Boogie, and A Boogie has went on to sell millions of records. They made millions of dollars together. So as you can see, brothers from the continent and brothers from the diaspora collaborating, making millions of dollars, right?
To people that don't know, like, can you give them a little backstory about how you guys came in the game? Because you guys came in the game like with the business acumen, not just the music.
Too.
Icy, very icy.
Icy. Facts. Whole game. Came in the game, youngest in charge, man. We got a vision and we trying to make it happen. The thing about us is like we doing it under the radar. Like we ain't really got the spotlight like as a bigger label like a QC or TDE. We just Highbridge the label. We just 25 and under doing this like really at a high level.
We really giving people motivation though, cause we came from the bottom. Like for me, growing up in the Bronx, like going through shit, all that, and we making it happen. Yeah. So everybody else could do it too. So we showing people like younger kids that you could do this too. Right. Yeah. I mean, you can make it out the Bronx, you know? Yeah. And do what you want to do.
So like I said, Oshay, you want to bring up an argument that happened between two aunties in the nail shop, which happens all the time. You know how many little arguments, little disputes that be popping off in the hair salon, and they be gossiping about each other and things like that? That's what women do. Women, they catty, they fight, they argue. As men, you know, we play the background. We don't waste our time getting involved with that. You know, the girls doing whatever they doing. But it's funny how you took that little argument, like I said, between the two aunties in the hair salon, and I showed you another example of another lady who owned a hair salon that gave free lessons, a summer program to the community. And then I gave you another example of two other brothers, one from Ghana, one from the Gambia, that invested their money together, came together, invested their money in A Boogie from the Bronx, right? And they went on to sell millions of records. Just last year, they celebrated one of his singles going diamond, not platinum, right? So when a single goes diamond, that means they sold 10 million records. So I'm asking you, Oshay, how come I cannot find any of these stories on your channel? How come you didn't make a single video about the lady who gave the free summer program to the girls in the neighborhood? How come you didn't make any video about the two brothers from Ghana and the Gambia that sold millions of records together when they invested in A Boogie, right? So as you can see, brothers from the diaspora and brothers from the continent are able to come together and make millions of dollars together. Which one did you decide to highlight on your channel? You decided to highlight the two aunties having an argument in the hair salon because you're a shameless, grifting charlatan chasing the algorithm in order to buy food. Without YouTube feeding you, you would not be able to feed yourself. My channel is not even monetized. So whatever I say on the microphone, you can see that is genuine. Whatever you say is influenced by whether this video is going to be a big hit on the algorithm. The algorithm is going to pick this up and give me the ad dollars. That is what influences your content strategy, right? And now you want to masquerade as if you care about the black woman so much. Brother, we have videos from back in the day that you uploaded that are still on YouTube. Take a look up on the screen, right? Remember this video? A few reasons why black men are dating white women, right? Remember this one? Why black men should move to the Dominican Republic, right? Now, like I mentioned before, a lot of you guys back in the day, You were communicating a different message, right? In the modern day, a lot of y'all done rebranded yourselves into some Captain America type Negroes. But back in the day, it was all about leaving the community, leaving the black woman behind, getting the Mexican woman, the Colombian woman, the Dominican woman. You had to hop on a flight and go overseas because back at home, you was getting no love from the community. You was getting no love from the women in your own society. And your only hope of having a woman was going to a foreign country and hoping those men in that society had the generosity to let you have their daughters, let you have their sisters. Because back at home, you was getting no love in your own society. You had to go to foreign countries. You had to go to Brazil. You had to go to Uganda because back in Los Angeles, they wasn't even checking for you, bro. When it comes to me, I've never had that issue, brother. Since I was in the 6th grade, when I first started intermingling with young girls, I've never had that issue. I've never had that problem. So, pardon me if I don't really think it's genuine that you care about the black woman so goddamn much when you spent so many damn years ranting and raging at the black woman because she wasn't even checking for you and showing you no love. Remember this video? Black men have better options overseas than in the black community, right? Remember this one? Pro-black shaming will not stop black men from interracial dating, right? Remember this one? Why going to Brazil is a great idea for black men, right? So pardon me if I don't buy into this whole patriotic, grift that a lot of you guys transition into in the modern day. When just a few years ago, it was, we have to abandon the community. We have to leave the community behind. Now, all of a sudden, we have to protect the black woman in the nail shop from those Africans. Please, brother, you are a grifter. Everybody on that side is a bunch of grifters. The only one who stayed true is MTR, right? MTR is the only one from back in the red pill days, the Kevin Samuels days. He has stayed on that grift. The rest of y'all transitioned into a bunch of Captain America type Negroes. When a bunch of y'all was a bunch of red pill, we got to go to Brazil. We got to go to some third world village. We got to flee the country in order to get affection from a woman. So stop it, brother. You guys don't give a goddamn about the black woman, bro. You guys spent years on this goddamn YouTube disparaging the black woman and uplifting every other woman besides the black woman. So stop it. Stop it, brother. You don't care about no goddamn black women. None of you do. That's why I don't buy into this patriotic grift that you guys are trying to sell, right? Because in order to be a true nationalist, a true patriot, one of the prerequisites is you have to love your women and children. And when I look back at your catalog, Oshay, that's not a catalog of a man who genuinely has love for his women. And the same thing goes for every single one of y'all in that side of YouTube. I don't even got to name names. All of y'all were on the same grift, the same hustle. Don't none of y'all got love for the black woman, bro. But now all of a sudden, man, we got to protect the black woman from the African hair braiders. Man, listen, y'all a bunch of shameless charlatans and grifters. I don't got no respect for none of y'all, bro. None of y'all. None of y'all. Y'all ruled by the almighty dollar. A bunch of clowns, man. A bunch of fake nationalists, a bunch of fake patriots reinventing themselves every few years in order to make money, in order to pay their bills, man. So once again, Oshay, you're a clown. Yeah, you're a clown. Neferkari Dessalines said that. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes, indeed. 21 Cannons, first single off the next project. Pin comment at the top. Subscribe to the Patreon, NTD1814, and I'm gone. Peace.
Yeah, walk in the room and I stop all that talking. Stay on alert and I'm moving with caution. Feeling like baby, I'm up in New Orleans. Feeling like Stunner, feeling like Wheezy. Look at my nigga, my wrist is Fiji. Trying to get cash, I don't wanna be famous. Look at my nigga, my wrist contagious. Ain't no stopping when I get started. Ain't no stopping, gotta go harder. Drop that top, whip go brainless. Chasing that check, I ain't trying to be famous. Whipping that Benz, feeling like spaceships. Everything official, ain't no fake shit. Doors unlocked, community gated. Look at this ice, bet they gon' hate it. Look at my life, enemy vanquished. Then it's on sight, gun in your faces. Look at that love, turn to hatred. Kill my ops like a Haitian. Ain't no love, ain't no honor, ain't no trust, ain't no conscience. I ain't perfect, but I'm honest. Enemy lurking, enemy watching, enemy stalking, taking photos 24/7. Straight surveillance, hit a new spot, change location. Shorty got wet off my cadence. I see ice, but I got papers. Ladies love me, and I got flavors. Ain't no love in these streets. Nigga, yo jaloux, yo méchant. Got them chains off my feet, by the sword and by the gun. They throw flowers at my feet, and they say that I'm the one, and they say that I'm the target. When they see me, they pay homage. Shorty talking about divesting, she with Malibu most wanted. When I go and get that check, I put it up and make it stack. Breaking that bank, whipping that Benzo. When I pull off, it go fast. Need a Fortune 5 accountant just to count up all this cash. Got these Sambos trying to sue me just to make me walk it back. Yeah, walk in the room and I stop all that talking. Stay on alert and I'm moving with caution. Feeling like baby, I'm up in New Orleans. Feeling like Stunner, feeling like Wheezy. Look at my nigga, my wrist is Fiji. Trying to get cash, I don't wanna be famous. Look at my nigga, my wrist contagious. Ain't no stopping when I get started. Ain't no stopping, gotta go harder. Drop that top, whip go brainless. Chasing that check, I ain't trying to be famous. Whipping that Benz, feeling like spaceships. Everything official, ain't no fake shit. Doors unlocked, community gated. Look at this ice, bet they gon' hate it. Look at my life, enemy vanquished. And it's on sight, gun in your faces. Look at that love, turn to hatred. Kill my ops like a Haitian. Ain't no love, ain't no honor, ain't no trust, ain't no conscience. I ain't perfect, but I'm honest. Enemy lurking, enemy watching, enemy stalking, taking photos 24/7, straight surveillance. Hit a new spot, change location. Shorty got wet off my cadence. Just seen ice, but I got papers. Ladies love me, and I got flavors. Ain't no love in these streets. Nèg yo jaloux, yo méchant.